All right, Bills Mafia, looks like we got an update as it pertains to our defensive coordinator search. We talked about, just some of the different names, some of the different candidates that we had interviewed and things like that. We obviously know Sean McDermott was the in-house candidate as well, being that he was the guy who, was the DC last year. But we officially have our defensive coordinator, and it's coming from in-house. Bobby Babich, baby, absolutely. We know Bobby, man. He's been with the staff since 2017, where he came in as an assistant defensive backs coach. Then from there, coached the secondary for the next 4 seasons. We think about Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, what they were able to do on the back end. We talk about how our pass defense, specifically during that time frame, like I said, was one of the best in the league in terms of generating turnovers, limiting explosive plays, and just in terms of passing yardage allowed. So we definitely felt good with him there in terms of his understanding of, the safeties and stuff like that. But then when you think about what he's done these past 2 seasons, he's been coaching our inside linebackers, or just linebackers in general, right? And think about what we have seen. Well, number one, Matt Milano, he gave us his first all-pro season. We talked about year before last, right? So big time, right? In terms of just getting Matt to have that big jump in production. That was obviously during that time where Tremaine was also able to play into the biggest linebacker contract at the time when he signed it as well, also under Babich as well, right? So then from there, you think about this season, what else do we see? Well, we saw Terrell Bernard come in and ball out. I mean, in my opinion, he's one of those dudes that should have had Pro Bowl considerations, man, heavily. When you talk about the amount of tackles, led the team in that, talk about tackles for loss, talk about sacks, this dude was very, very productive. I mean, outside of, him getting banged up at the end of the season, that dude, played lights out. So big time shout out to him. Talk about Terrell Dotson, right? Another guy who had to come in when Matt went down, broke the leg, right? Went crazy. Terrell, he came in there and balled out, man, was giving us consistent production, big time plays, both in the regular season and then carried it over into the postseason. But heck, man, I even look at some of just the resource that we had to use when we kept having injuries at the linebacker position, right? We saw A.J. Klein come in, play at a high level, quality snaps. We saw Baylor Spector come in, play at a high level, quality snaps. We saw the rookie, Dorian Williams, come in, play at a high level, productive snaps. That is all a testament to Coach Babich and just his understanding of the defense and his ability to relate to the players and get the most out of each player, regardless of if you're the all-pro, big contract guy, if you're the rookie, or if you're any of the guys in between. He clearly has the pulse of that group. And then when you talk about, like I said, him being able to work backwards with the safeties and now linebackers as well, I just think that this is a really good move in terms of promoting him, making him the DC. We already have the familiarity. We obviously know he's a young coach who's continuing to ascend in this league. And you have the familiarity with Coach McDermott. That's the other part. So if Coach McDermott still wants to be a little bit more involved in terms of the game planning or even the play calling on game day, he still has that luxury since Coach Babich was on the staff throughout this whole process. And obviously that includes this year where we saw Coach McDermott being the DC, right? And ultimately being the game day play caller also. So in terms of the promotion and official hire, I like it. I think it's a good idea. In terms of, where we are with Coach Babich, I mean, he's one of those dudes, right? How long until he gets picked away, right? Until somebody tries to, give him another promotion. So for right now, man, let's enjoy the move. I like the fact that we got 2 very young in-house dudes as coordinators that are continuing to grow and just ultimately help this team reach what we're trying to reach, because ain't nothing changed. We still trying to get right to where we want to be next year. And we got everything that we need, baby. You got Josh. That's the first part. We got Josh. You got everything. All right. But more importantly, man, let me know your thoughts, though, on Coach Babich being the official hire as defensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills. But either way, I appreciate you for tuning in. And until next time, just remember, don't nobody circle the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.